Kind of the thing that I use to de-stress and to get fit, stay healthy. It really helps me at this time of the year when it's really cold and gloomy. It's the kind of thing that I look forward to. I was first prescribed benzodiazepines when I was at uni. I was in the last year, about to take my exams, and I became very, very anxious, as most students do in the last year of their exams. I stopped sleeping for about a week, and I was very worried about what was going on with me. I thought maybe I was getting ill or something was happening to me. So I went to the doctor, as you do, and I told him about this anxiety that I was having, and so he prescribed me a month's worth of lorazepam. After a while, I became so unwell after taking the lorazepam that I stopped seeing friends, I stopped eating, I stopped feeding myself, I stopped washing. I kind of felt one day that I should just stop taking them because it's no good to keep taking all these tablets. So I didn't know anything about the effects of stopping suddenly. I didn't know anything about withdrawal. So by this point I was on 60 milligrams of diazepam and I stopped cold turkey. It was probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made. After I went cold turkey, I couldn't eat, I couldn't swallow. I was so anxious all of the time. I was staying with my mum at the time, and I walked around constantly asking her, am I going to die? By the end of the second week, I was unable to sit down. I was pacing from floor to floor, and I was going up to my mum and dad and saying, when is this going to end? When is it going to be over? And I'd ask them that day after day after day. And they didn't know. They were absolutely terrified. They didn't know what was happening to me. At this point, a psychiatrist was still coming around seeing me. And he told me it can't be due to the withdrawal. It must be due to some underlying mental illness. And so I kind of worried that I'd really damaged my brain in some way and that I was going to be stuck like this forever. I first started getting my windows and waves, which is what they call, which is what they say happens, after about 4 months. And I remember my first window where I got some relief, and it felt so wonderful. And I'd forgotten actually what it felt like to not have anxiety, to not be crippled with depression, to be able to get out of bed. And it was very short-lived, but it reminded me that that could be a possibility again in the future. So it took between 8 and 9 months after I stopped cold turkey from diazepam to feel any better at all. I still suffer with some anxiety that I didn't have before I started taking benzos. And I still have the ringing in my ears, which has never kind of gone away. The insomnia is still a problem, but I can definitely say that things are very much improved. So my future plans at the moment are to become a forensic psychologist. Psychology really interests me because I've been through my own experiences, and I'd really like to go on to kind of help people in distress. Looking back at my experiences now, I feel so angry that no one explained to me what withdrawal from benzos was like, and all the doctors that I tried to talk to about it just didn't know anything about it at the time. And I feel like these drugs, people should know more about these drugs before they're taking them. I feel like I would never have taken them had I known what lay ahead of me.